Hello, my name is Kathy Smith. I'm from the Creative Age Studio in London, Ontario, and I'd like to welcome you to this YouTube tutorial. You've probably landed here because you ordered a creativity kit to your home or to your apartment. And first of all, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to order the kit, but I'd like to provide a little bit of background information about the project, about the kits, and about the different kits that are available. This particular tutorial is about an art card kit, and we have 4 different kits. There's creative journaling, there's art card, there's decorating and custom painting, interior designer birdhouses, and there's also a collage and mixed media creativity kit. So I'm going to start today right now with the art card kit. The project has been sponsored by Museum London, so we thank Museum London for taking the time to sponsor and organize some of these projects. The London Middlesex Community Housing Corporation has been great to help us get the kits out to seniors and older adults in the community. And the project has been funded by New Horizons Program for Seniors Canada, and we're very grateful for that funding. Some of these kits were a response to the pandemic when people were locked away and they couldn't get out to senior centers or to the museum or art galleries. And programming went online through YouTube or Zoom or some of the telephone conferencing software was used. And we found that the programs became popular once everybody got used to using the technology available. And the programs are actually going to be great for older adults and seniors, especially through the winter months when they can't get out to places in the community to participate in activities and events. Your activity kit or your creativity kit has come in a craft cardboard box, and inside the kit, when you open it, you'll find some instructions for your art card kit. Now, there's some images to show examples of what some of the shading and the coloring can look like, and there are instruction sheets on how to paint over the watercolor pencils and all the different techniques that you can use in blending the pencils and making different marks and doing different shading. And so the instruction sheet, if you take time to practice, will give you a number of different skills and techniques to use when it comes time to do your art card kit. And then you'll find a brochure from Museum London about the programs that are at the museum right now. And then you'll notice that some of the programs that are available, some of the tours actually are available online. But when you go to visit the museum, they're now open on certain days for visitors, even though COVID protocols are still in effect. You'll find that the programs at Museum London are very affordable, and some of them are just pay what you can. So Museum London wants to make sure that programming is accessible and affordable for older adults. Inside your art card kit, you'll find a paper pack, and this paper pack has practice cards, design cards, and some art card frames, and everything that you need to practice and put together the images that you'll choose to go into your art card frames. So this is the paper pack, and then you'll find a great selection of colors for watercolor pencils. And these pencils are great. I've just fallen in love with them because I was using watercolor paint, and now I can get some of the same effects and even more versatility using the watercolor pencils. You use these pencils just like normal pencil crayons, except when you add water, the pigment spreads around the page, which gives you the watercolor effect. And I'll show you a demonstration of that. You'll also find a set of markers in your kit, and your art card can be done with the markers, with the watercolor pencils, or you can use a combination of both. So just to recap, there's a paper kit, there's a Museum London brochure with programming, there's some instruction sheets on the contents of the kits and how to use the watercolor pencils. There's markers, watercolor pencils, and you'll get some brushes inside your kit as well. You'll also have a Sharpie permanent marker pen, and you may want to sketch your own cards. And if you use the Sharpie pen, this will be permanent, and you can use your watercolor pencils with water over top of the pen, and the ink won't run. Here's an example of a sketch that was done using the markers. And here's an example of a sketch that was done using the watercolor pencils. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how the watercolor pencils go. So here you can see some cards I was using before. These are the watercolor pencils. There's a concentration of pigment here. When you add water, you can make the color as thin as you want it to be. And that's kind of the effect that it has. You can get all different colors. You can blend the colors together or layer them side by side. And using your practice cards, you'll put your dry pencil on one part of your practice card, and then you'll add water to see what the effects are with your paintbrush and the water that you use to dissolve some of the pigments. And I've done one here. You'll find a practice card or several practice cards in your kit, and you'll just try to move the pigment around the page. This is watercolor paper that I'm working on, and you'll see that you can get a nice strong pigment and tone at the top, and then you can make it thinner in some areas, and you can move it around anytime you want. You have to keep your brush clean in case some of the colors start bleeding onto each other. So here's one using the yellow, the golden yellow, and then here's a blue, this is an ultramarine blue. So you can see how this moves around. I'm going to do some turquoise here just to show you. There's some brushes have a sharp point so you can get in to the corners, and then some of the brushes have a flat edge, a broad edge and a flat edge if you want to cover more space. So this is basically how the pigments move around on the watercolor paper, and you're just going to use your practice cards in the kit they're marked as your practice cards, and just keep using them to find out what colors you like from the pack and how the pigments move around. Well, that one's not moving, so that must be an ordinary pencil crayon and not a watercolor pencil crayon. And so this one is moving. And that's how it looks. So again, practice with different brushes. You may have a flat head brush in your kit, and then you may have a brush with a point. And then you can also use some of your practice paper for doing sketching. These botanical sketches are quite easy to do, and some people like trying to do their own sketching, and I'm going to show you. The permanent marker here has a broad edge. That's the medium tip, and then there's also an edge that's very fine. So you can, your permanent Sharpie marker has two different thick stroke and a very fine thin stroke to do some sketching and just even doodling you might want to do on your blank pages. Now in your kit you'll also have some cards that are card frames, and when you're finished your sketch you'll want to put your finished product into the art card frame, and you insert it in the back like this, and that will show your art card, your colored card frame in the front. So these are actually in this particular kit, this is actually the art card that you're going to make. You have a couple of larger art cards like this, and you have, this is one that's been colored, and you'll also have some smaller art cards with a frame and an envelope like this. So this is your finished product, is your colored art cards in your card frame. Also in your kit you'll see a season's greeting card, and the season's greeting card is meant for your markers. You can use the colored pencils on your season's greetings card, but you have to make sure you use only a tiny bit of water, or the paper will buckle and bubble out. So this is just a normal paper, a photocopy, and so it's not the heavy card stock of the watercolor paper. So have fun with your watercolor pencils. Have fun practicing to find the techniques that you want to use. Use some of the pre-sketched cards that you have in your kit, or make some of your own sketches for your art card. Botanical sketches are something easy that you can do, and also make sure that you keep your brushes clean in your water, and a piece of paper towel. And I think that's all you need to get started on your art card kit. And it's fun to practice, fun to learn all about the different techniques and how the pigment moves around on the page. And a lot of the supplies you can get at the dollar store, and so you don't have to spend a lot of money to keep the practice up. Your pencil crayons should last you quite a long time. Your colored pencil, your watercolors, and just make sure you keep them clean. Keep your water clean, and there's a pencil sharpener if you happen to wear them down. So that's everything that's in this creativity kit. Thank you very much for ordering the kit, for watching this tutorial demonstration, And stay tuned on this YouTube channel for further activities using some of the supplies that we've provided in your Create at Home Creativity Kit, sponsored by Museum London, the London Middlesex Community Housing Corporation, and the Creative Age Network.